what? We're going to move into my favorite state in America. I love Florida. I was there last Christmas with my family, and I absolutely let me unmute you. There you go. And I love it. And I when I was when was it? 2000 I think. I was there back in 2006. I lived in Marco Island for 6 months.
Beautiful down there.
Isn't it stunning? And I went to see that again when we were there in January, and I love it in Florida. So how are you?
I'm good. I'm really, really good. How are you?
Great. Good to have you here, Martha. It's this woman is amazing. I wanna let you share your story with my audience and all the things you're gonna add to them, because you're gonna talk about mindset, aren't you?
Yep.
And how you can master it.
Yes. Well, mastering my mindset. If I wouldn't have done it, I wouldn't be here today. So, long story short, I probably had just as oddly bizarre childhood as we've all had, but then I got to the point where I went to chiropractic school. So I got my Doctorate of Chiropractic and was excited to open my first clinic. I was appreciating what Lois was saying, that possibly not everyone's cut out to be an entrepreneur, because I definitely felt that. I took out a bank loan, opened my office, and did all the right things. I painted the office the way people said. I did everything they said, and suddenly the bank called and told me we had to talk about my finances, and we had to talk about where my business was going. And I think I was a bit green, so I didn't really understand what in the red meant. So if you've not been there, that means there's not a lot of money coming in. And I had this really aha moment where I definitely wasn't sure that I was capable of doing it. And I thought I was going to close my business, and I never quit at anything in my life. And I met someone who said to me, I know you're doing all the right things, but 2 things: you're not being true to yourself, and you're not actually in charge of your life, which was like the biggest slap in the face, because I thought, of course I'm in charge of my life, but I wasn't. And what I did in that moment was make a massive decision to step into my authentic self and to really harness the power of who I was and my own mindset. And since then, it's been that practice that almost failed, became just shy of $1 million practice. And I felt quite proud to turn the whole thing on its head. And, people used to ask me, what happened? What'd you do? And I didn't do anything but work on myself and work on the way that I showed up and worked on who I was. So now I've translated that into coaching women. I have a women's coaching business, and I have a large network marketing business where I have 20,000 women I get to work with. So I absolutely love it.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Am I unmuted? Yes.
That's okay.
Do you know, I think the moment you realize your worth is priceless. And when you know why you are doing what you're doing, that's when you end up taking yourself to the next level in your business. And even if it's like, I don't want people to get, feeling like they've got it all people will have to be entrepreneurs, but the ones who are entrepreneurial will understand what I mean. Every morning I wake up and I can't wait to go to my office. I can't wait to go to my shop. I can't wait to meet my next client. I just love it. I love touching the clothes and deciding my next design and decide. It's that moment, that's because I'm doing what I love and I'm doing it with a purpose. It just gives me so much pleasure. I think once you find that, it's so much easier and everything suddenly falls into place, don't you think?
Oh, 100%. It's, as I was listening to the other ladies speak, you could just hear their passion shine through. And I think that once you fall in love with what you want to share with the world, it kind of takes on a life of its own. So that's why I definitely love the entrepreneurial space. And I feel honored to be in it, and I feel honored to get to work with other women in it as well.
Well, that's true. I mean, isn't it how much we devalue our story? You know, it's what have you got to say about it, do you think?
Well, I love what, Lois was saying, find what's unique about you and share it. And I believe it's your story. So I think your story is one of two things. It's an anchor that holds you back, kind of like a boat that's not going to move, and we get stuck in it and we want to tell it and we play the emotions of it. Or your anchor is more of a root, and roots, they really, give them a little fertilizer, and they really feed you and they nourish you, and they hold you in space through the winds and the storms, but they hold you to where you've been and they allow you to grow to where you're growing. And I think that when you can take your story and understand that everything that's happened to you, no matter if it feels gross or if it was terrible, that is part of what you get to share with the world. And when you begin to look at your story differently, and I always say, shift your perspective, shift your life. And if you can just shift your perspective at your story and tap into that goodness and that uniqueness that is you, there is thousands of other people who actually have something in common with that. And they're looking for you because we all want to be understood. I think more than ever, 2020 has taught us the power of community, the power of communication, and the power of having a deeper understanding of each other. And so when you find someone who gets you, it's like, can we have a coffee? Let's chat. And so when you share that with people, they're going to want to be a part of your business. They're going to want what you have to offer because they can see something in you that they see in themselves. So I think our stories, it's the greatest form of communication. It dates back to forever. And I always tell my clients, stories are remembered and retold. I could give you a bunch of facts and figures, and I could tell you all kinds of information. I love wearing Blu-ray glasses. I could tell you all the science behind it. But if I just said, I used to get headaches from looking at my screen, and the minute that I started wearing Blu-ray glasses, those headaches stopped. You're going to remember that. You're not going to remember the science behind Blu-ray glasses or the information. You're going to remember what I told you about Blu-ray glasses. So when we can do that and connect with our audience and connect with, our loved ones and our family in such a different way through stories, that's going to actually empower us at a greater level. And it's our best marketing tool, and you already own it. So it's already yours. So you don't even need to go buy it.
You're not going to run out of ideas either because you're telling your own story.
Exactly. And it's happened to you, and it's quite personal. And
exactly. Well, yeah. I've got a question here from Hannah. It says, how do you find your niche or your purpose? I recently lost my job and I've always had clear direction until now. I have an opportunity to step into something I'm super passionate about, but where do you start? Good question.
This may sound out there, airy-fairy, but I always tell people, when you're looking for your passion, get in a quiet room, turn on some music that inspires you, quiet music, and just start writing. For me, I sit down sometimes, and if I feel stuck or if I'm not sure, I'll just say, God, these are my questions, and I write the questions down. I sit there and I just start writing. And most of my greatest answers come when I get quiet and I get out of my own way and I write without thinking. Journaling, I find, is one of the most amazing ways to get clear. The second thing is if it's an opportunity, and I'm sorry I didn't hear your name, but if it's an opportunity, make sure it's an opportunity that really rings with your soul and not just an opportunity that sounds good or an opportunity that feels good or that you think would be good. Because sometimes things become like a bright, flashy light and we want to chase them. And I've fallen down that path before, but doing what really rings true to you and alignment. So getting really clear on the things that you love. The questions you can ask yourself is, how can I best inspire people? What am I best at doing? What do people say about me? And even calling friends and family and asking them, what am I good at? What is it about me that lights me up? Or what do you see in me that maybe I don't see in myself? Because they probably see some of the greatest things, like your ability to help people or your ability to inspire people, and just make sure that whatever you do aligns with that. And like Elif said, if you don't wake up and want to jump out of bed in the morning, then get far away from it. If it does not, get far away from it.
It's so true. It's funny, I did that practice very recently with a bunch of my close friends, and I asked them, what do you value in our friendship? what is it?
Oh. Whoa.
It's okay.
Not sure how that- Just fall on.
What was I saying? And I was asking, like, what do you value in me as a friend? What is that? And I asked about 20 people, and I was fascinated. All of them answered the same thing, and all these people don't even know each other. They have people, different walks of my life, and it was fascinating. And then that's when I just really focused in what I'm going as a businesswoman and what I want to do. It's very important because I think we're not so aware of what we are about, really. It takes a while.
It's funny that you're saying that, because when I almost quit my practice, it's because I was doing what everyone else said, but I wasn't true to myself, right? And my office was really boring, and I had these like light gray walls, and I had
Because
this.
they told you that's how it should be.
Yeah, and I had these maroon leather chairs with wooden arms under them, and they were poofy. It was like I looked like a lawyer and a really bizarre old doctor's office combined. And when I did this exercise and asked some of my best friends and my family, they said, "You're funny. You love to make us laugh, and we never know what we're going to get from you." Well, my office didn't convey that about me. So I actually had an orphanage in Haiti, and I was going to visit it. And so on the way out the door, I called the painters and I said, "Send me the colors of blue that you have." And I picked 5 colors of blue, and I hired a guy to paint every wall a different shade of blue, and they all flowed quite well. And I had them rip out the carpet, and I ordered these blue, like kind of crazy chairs. And I promised myself to play music every day that I loved in the office and to tell jokes. And my office literally, so my office first went from 35 visits a week to 120 visits a week just by working on my mindset. And then once I unleashed,
isn't it? It's
yeah, and once I unleashed my inner, I guess, badass, I'm not sure, my inner joy, I started seeing 350 patients a week. And I didn't do anything different besides be unapologetically myself. And I encourage everyone I work with to find that way to be unapologetically you, not to hurt other people, but so that your light shines and that you are you from a space of love and a space of truth to yourself, but just be authentically who you are, because the world is waiting. Everyone else is taken, right? The world's waiting for you to show up.
It's so good. So true. Really,
yeah.
A lot of people don't realize. I think that fear of not being accepted by the society. I know exactly. If you're there, I know exactly how you feel, because I've been there. That fear of not being part of a society, fear of not being accepted by people around you, because of the way you're thinking. Because if you say that you don't like meat, people won't like you. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's almost being afraid of being vegetarian, or almost being afraid of giving up alcohol. Or it's like, just be you, because you're not going to resonate with everybody. You're going to resonate with the right people who's going to love you for everything you do. And there will be a bunch of people who won't like you, and they're not your people, are they?
Yeah. No, and it wasn't easy for me. I remember the first time a patient told me he wasn't going to be a patient at my clinic. I cried. I called him and asked him why. And he's like, "I don't know. I just don't think it's a good fit." And I thought, and it took me a while to realize that's okay, because here's the thing. You have to think about yourself and what would you do? You don't want to go and see a patient or a coach. You don't want to go work with a client that you don't like or that doesn't gel with you. And you can't expect other people to do the same. And the greatest thing you can give someone is permission to go and find what does work for them. And I had a saying, which I always tell my clients: some people get it, some don't. Who cares who's next? And that's just what I had to put into play, is that some people will get me and some people won't. But I can't worry about it, because when you're worrying about the person who didn't get you, you're missing the client that will get you. You're not paying attention to the opportunity in front of you. Mm-hmm. And I just have gratitude every time someone doesn't want to do business with me. I have extreme gratitude. I just found out a woman blocked me on Facebook. I thought we were friends. So I'm like, that's okay. Because obviously we don't resonate together. So
I love that.
yeah, now I have room for more friends. So if anybody wants to friend me, I've got a space open. So I just had one open.
Yeah, we're gonna be friends now. I'm never gonna leave you. I adore you. It's funny you say that. I remember when I first started building my email list, I would always check who's opened my emails and how many times they've opened it. And then I would say, oh, I can't believe she's unsubscribed. How rude. I'm never going to say hello to her when I see her on the streets. And then I just realized, you can't expect them. You know, that doesn't mean they don't love you. And people don't have to love you. The love will come if you deliver something that helps them on their journey, changes their life. So
yeah, I have a course I created called I changed the name, but it was Unanchored Love. Now it's Ascend in Love. And it's about teaching people, because you have to learn to love yourself, because not everybody is going to love you. And more people will love you once you love yourself. And I think as an entrepreneur, you've got to get really, I don't know if it's thick skin or just like a shield of love and hearts around you, because you will cry the first time you get unfollowed on Facebook. You'll like be baffled that someone unsubscribed from your email and go read the email 10 times to find out what happened. But you have to realize that you are you, and you're only put on this earth to help specific people. And it's really a blessing when people who don't want to be a part of your service step out. And I will tell you that also, it's not about you, it's about them. When I opened my first clinic, I now have 2 other businesses, but during my clinic years, I learned a lot, because that's your first business, kind of like your first love, you learn a lot. And a woman left, and it was when I first opened my practice in 2006. And when I sold my clinic, I left in 2013. At the end of 2012, she came in as proud as a plum in these really tight black leather pants. And I could barely remember who she was. And she said, "It's me, I'm here now. I want to do your wellness plan." And I said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I don't remember who you are, and I've sold my clinic." And she started crying. Well, when she came to me, I told her, in order to get healthy, you're going to need to lose some weight. And I'm here to support you to do that, but you're going to have to. And she weighed a lot. And she was really triggered by that, because no one had ever been honest with her. But guess what, you guys, she went home and she got inspired, and she worked really hard that she was in these skinny little leather pants. And so I tell you that story because she came to me when she was ready. It wasn't about me or what I offered. It was where she was at. And she wasn't ready to lose the weight then, but when she then was ready for the journey. So not every no is a no. Sometimes it's a not right now. And sometimes it's about what you don't know that's going on in that person. So kind of just let it go. And if it's the proverbial boomerang, it'll come back to you if it's meant to be. And if not, it'll keep going.
True. I mean, because you've shared your clinic redecoration and how you've ended up turning it into how you actually feel about yourself. When I started my business back in 2009, God, I can't believe it was back in 2009. I started my business as a mobile alteration service, and it has been a real journey, but I would not change any part of it. It's made me who I am today, and it's really changed it just helped me grow as a person, and I still am growing and learning, and it's brilliant. But when I first opened my first boutique, I started with basically no money, and I didn't really have money to decorate and do anything for my boutique. So I had to do all these rustic looking, and I ended up answering everyone's desires about, oh, I think you should sell some candles, I think you should sell some socks, I think you should sell these. And I was just like, yeah, of course I can. I mean, I can sell it, why shouldn't I? And I was just doing everything. And then I realized this lockdown has been my blessing, to be honest. Totally. Do you know? And I just realized I didn't hate any of that, but I wasn't me. So I just decided to rip everything back completely, and I redecorated my business and reinvented it. It's like completely changed myself from how I started, where I got to, and what I am now. And I'm just doing, I mean, I always loved getting up and doing what I do, but this was like, now I just adore it. Every day I go into my shop going, oh my God, this is mine. I just find myself thinking, do you know, it's so important. Just find what you really love. Is so important.
And it can change. We all go through evolutions. Yeah. I mean, I used to run a high volume clinic, and now I coach women and educate on women's health and empower women. It can change. And I already find, you know, with life events, so I'm pregnant, I'm due in January. If she stays in there, she tried to come this weekend. She stays in there, I'm due in January. And I already feel things about myself changing. So also know that you're going to have evolutions of yourself, that you're going to have things happen, major life events, pandemics that are going to happen. They're going to make you reevaluate. And that's okay, because yeah, people will say things like, oh, you're onto something else. But if you feel different about who you are and how you show up, that is your decision, and no one can make it for you. And I think finding a coach, you guys, someone to guide you, a mentor that can help you, support you, and help you, like, guide you to finding who you are authentically and how that authentic self shines, is my greatest advice to you. Because a lot of people are going to tell you to paint your office gray and get big maroon leather chairs, and one day you're going to wake up and go, oh my gosh, I'm living in like Mary Poppins world or something. And you're going to go, oh my God, what am I doing? And that's okay, because you got to be grateful that you got there and for that experience. But then, you know, if it's like something else, I mean, for me, so one of the things I do is I have a large doTERRA essential oils business. And down in Australia, and maybe some of them are on here, but a lot of the women wear long flowery dresses. I don't. I wear black leather pants, and I wear leather jackets and jeans, and I wear amazing cowboy boots. And that's okay. I had to step into that for myself, and that's who I am, right? And being that unique person and shining and being okay with it. Because guess what? They all still love me. I'm just different, right? I'm different. I'm from a small town in Illinois originally. So you've got to let who you are shine, because there are people who are looking for that light, and they will never see it if you don't let it out. So
don't what's the word, don't stop your shining. Or there's that quote, I can't remember now, don't stop shining because somebody's disturbed by your light. Just keep
I'm pregnant, so I can't remember a lot of things right now, so I'm just gonna have to believe you. Sometimes I'm lucky I get up and know my name, so I'm like, no, I'll just have to believe you.
Oh, that stays as well, that mommy brain.
I've heard so. We'll see. I don't know. I'm hoping not, because sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, I left the groceries in the car one day, $180 worth of like fresh salmon and everything in the car. So that was so very good. And in Florida heat.
I'm just going to see if any of our guests would like to ask you questions. There's quite a few of you there. If you want to ask anything, don't dim your light so others can shine. That's the one. That's the one. Thank you. That's the one I was trying to remember. If anybody has any questions for lovely Martha, how are you feeling?
I feel great. Yeah. But I think it's like you said, you know, so I was hospitalized on Friday, Friday, for those of you in Australia, New Zealand, because I see a couple of you, that would be Saturday. And it was a little bit of a scare. I got dehydrated, but it's kind of like what you say, when you love what you do. I love what I do, so I was just
I'm so glad you're here for us. I feel privileged to have you here. That's so kind.
Thank you. Yeah, I feel great. I wouldn't have missed it for the world, so I'm really excited to be here. And if you guys have any questions, please ask, because this is a really good time. I do have links to my courses. You can follow me. I'll type in here in a minute at Dr. Martha Nessler. I am giving away a freebie. Elif doesn't have it yet, because I don't want to a spoiler alert if you're a new entrepreneur, but it doesn't always go as planned. And I have a brand new VA who, God love her, is just finished my course that we're going to give you for free, my Unanchor Your Mind.
Do you want to share it?
Yeah, I can share it.
Please. Thank
yes,
you.
It's just now finished, so I apologize.
I know the feeling.
Yeah, I apologize, but
Nothing to apologize. This is brilliant. Thank you.
um,
You've got another free gift, ladies, tonight. Make sure you log into those. This is gold. This
it's
is
my 5-day mindset.
experience, years of mistakes.
Unanchor your mindset and up level your business. So this is just my 5 tips. They're like 5-minute videos. Please do not tell me you don't have time. When entrepreneurs say that to me, I'm like, oh, don't say you don't have time. Make time. You always have enough time for things that are important. But just my 5 tips on mindset, 5 things you can do easily every day to get yourself in the right mindset. Even if you don't feel like it, no one will have to know, so you can show up, because a lot of times as entrepreneurs, we don't realize that how we show up and how we handle ourselves directly affects what we're doing. So if you've been in a bad mood, got in a fight with your husband or the children or your wife or whatever, and then you pick up the phone and you're like, hello? Yeah, they know what's going on. You know what I mean? They know exactly what's going on. Oh, I only shared it with the panelists. Sorry about that. My bad. And you can follow me on social media. There you go. For my other stuff. So I always get myself in a perfect state, right? So I was in a meeting before this and I ran home. Well, I waddled home, and then I got myself in the exact state I wanted to be in to show up for you guys. And I share those secrets with you in that course. And it's kind of a revolving Facebook group that people join. We've redone it earlier this year, so it's brand new videos. And so they'll probably add into, because some people have done my course quite a few times. The other thing I do have,
I'm gonna come.
Join in with me. The other thing I do have right now, which I didn't know I would have, is I'm doing a thing called 12 Days of Blessings, which is 12 days of coaching. It starts about right when this ends. But someone bought 12 extra tickets and we have 8 left. So someone donated. It's all for charity. It was $12 and all the money goes to help families in need. So if you feel like you'd like some free coaching, I've got 8 spots. Message me on my Instagram or my Facebook. I've got 8 spots left and we'll pop you in there. So it's 12 days of coaching, 12 different coaching tips. It's 12 different gratitude exercises and 12 essential oils to help you keep your shit together during the holidays and beyond. And then we have 12 gifts, but someone graciously purchased 12 tickets and we have 8 freebies, because I asked people, I tried to bless people and they were like, I don't have time. I'm like, okay, so it's only about 15 minutes a day. So if you would like to do that, please let me know.
That's brilliant.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Thanks for having me. And I'm so glad you put this on.
Thank you. If anybody wants to have your freebies, what do they need to do? Just message you on.
Well, I put the link to the freebie there. I put my Instagram there. You are more than welcome to send me an email.
For the 12 days.
12 days, yep. Just message me on Instagram or Facebook at Dr. Martha Nessler.
There you go. That's brilliant. Thank you so much.
All right, take care, guys. It was so lovely, Elif, and this is awesome. I hope you do it every year.
Thank you. We'll do, definitely. Take care. Have a lovely day. Take care.